My first ever trip to Japan begins here at Washington, D.C. for my first ever flight with ANA, also known as All Nippon Airlines. After enduring this long and yet smooth 14-hour flight of bobblehead naps, good random conversations, movies, excellent customer service, and my first ever experience of Japanese food high in the sky, I finally arrived at Narita's International Airport in Japan, which is north of Tokyo. A real chilling feeling of excitement has just really passed through my entire ecosystem because this was sort of a fantasy trip come true. First things first, I gotta let everyone know that I've arrived. Navigating through this airport wasn't too challenging due to all the signs being in both Japanese and English. At the time of this trip, back in March 2023, I used Japan Web to provide all my transferable documents and information because you had to use that because of COVID and show proof and all that kind of good stuff. And boy, was it a massive time saver. It allowed me to bypass some extremely long lines and helped me to get to the custom line, which was also very long, which actually moved relatively quickly. I must say, the people operating this area were very efficient because the line moved well for this enormous amount of people in front of me. Now on the other side of security and officially in Japan, it's time to locate the Japan Rail Pass office, which is to the left and down the escalators. By pre-ordering this Japan Rail Pass several weeks in advance before this trip through a travel agency in the States, they provided me with this voucher to exchange when I got into Japan at the Japan Rail office. This Japan Rail Pass will allow me to ride all JR RAN rails as well as the Tokaido Shinkansen bullet train with no extra fees and the ability to reserve reservable seats at no extra cost. Along with pre-ordering Japan's Rail Pass, I also ordered yen in advance because research told me that there are certain places throughout Japan that does not take credit cards, but mostly just cash. As well as when you get an IC card, you have to insert cash into the machine in order to refill the card up. So it was definitely a wise choice to get that, and also to avoid any exchange counters that may come about and long lines dealing with that or any other extra fees that could come with that. Here at Terminal 1, it is time for me to catch this Narita Express, my first train ride here in Japan, and my first opportunity to swipe my Japan Rail Pass. It's been about 3 hours since I landed in Japan, gone through security, all the lines, and now preparing to board this Narita Express that's going to take me to Tokyo Station, and it's supposed to be about an hour ride. While on the Narita Express, the announcements were spoken in Japanese as well as in English.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard.
Now arriving at Tokyo Station, and I was not expecting to enter into Tokyo Station 5 levels below, so I had to travel up the escalators to get to the main level where I would find the Tokaido Shinkansen bullet train to head to Osaka. When entering or exiting a train station, you must either use your Japan Rail Pass to get in or get out, or your IC card. So at this moment, it's time to use my Japan Rail Pass again so that I can enter and get onto the bullet train. Traveling on the Tokaido Shinkansen Hikari train, it took a 3-hour travel from Tokyo Station to Shino Osaka. The Shinkansen Tokaido bullet train was super comfy and it was super duper clean, and it was very nice to have someone come along and serve potential refreshments and snacks along that ride. It is now 10 p.m. local time in Japan, which is 13 hours ahead of the East Coast time in the United States. And we have finally arrived at Shino Osaka Station in Osaka, Japan. Next stop is the hotel, and to finally get some rest to get prepared for tomorrow's first adventure at the sumo tournament. And I'm really excited to enjoy this and also share it with you all.